I'm Katie Tucker, and this is my informative speech. Do you know that feeling when you're standing in an awkward position and your back starts to ache? You can just stand up straight and the pain goes away. Imagine what it would feel like to never be able to stand up straight and have that back pain constantly. That's how living with scoliosis feels, and you can never get out of that awkward position. Scoliosis is a condition of the spine. The spine, instead of going straight, grows at a curve like an S. People should be informed about scoliosis. They should know where it comes from, the effects of scoliosis, and what you can do to help living with the condition. Many people don't understand what scoliosis is and how a person can get scoliosis. Scoliosis is commonly idiopathic, which means you don't know how it causes it, it just sort of happens. However, there are other ways you can get scoliosis, such as cerebral palsy and muscular distortion. Females commonly have scoliosis more than males. If you're a female from the ages to 9 to 15, you're more likely to have scoliosis. When you're going through puberty, that's when you're growing, so then it helps there. There are some cases where scoliosis runs in the family, so it's passed around as a trait. Scoliosis is often found from going to a doctor for back pain. The doctor will then perform a scoliosis exam where they take your index finger and trace the back of your spine. If the doctor thinks that you may have scoliosis, he'll suggest that you go get x-rays. Scoliosis will change a person's life and have many effects on them. Symptoms that you have with scoliosis are, there's of course the back pain, but also scoliosis can affect your entire body. Scoliosis may give a person hip or neck complications as well. In severe cases of scoliosis, the rib cage may press against the lungs and the heart, and it can make it more difficult for the person to breathe and make it harder for the heart to pump. There's also physical symptoms of scoliosis. A person with scoliosis may have uneven shoulder blades, a hip will be taller than the other, your legs will be longer than the other, and then other times you might not even notice a person has scoliosis because their curve is not so severe. And there are some cases where the curve is so severe that you're literally bending sideways. Author Laura Silverstein states a lot of people don't realize that with the physical appearance scoliosis gives you, it causes a lot of emotional damage. Often with the physical appearance, scoliosis is very noticeable. That person will become very self-conscious of themselves. In the cases where scoliosis becomes visible, you may want to get help. When scoliosis becomes so severe that the doctor will recommend surgery, my orthopedic surgeon told me that when the degree curve is 40 or over, the doctors usually will recommend surgical treatment. The surgery consists of taking 2 metal rods and screwing them in your back to straighten out the spine. This type of surgery is called spinal fusion. This is a picture. And there's the rods. Another treatment method for scoliosis is braces. If the bones are still growing, the doctor will recommend a brace. However, if you're done growing, then a brace isn't going to help, and it doesn't cure the curve, and it doesn't reverse it. It just stops it from getting worse. The more you wear the brace, the more effective it is. Mayo Clinic gives 2 examples of types of braces that you may get. The underarm brace, where it just goes underneath your arm, and it's like a turtle shell. And the Milwaukee brace, which is a full torso brace and has a neck ring for the chin and the back of the head. When scoliosis is not severe enough for any of these 2 treatments, there are other ways to make living with scoliosis easier. Yoga and Pilates are good to do if you have scoliosis because it strengthens your core and helps support your back. Scoliosis may be a painful and stressful situation, but people learn how to deal with it and they'll all be okay. People need to be aware of scoliosis. It's important to know where the condition comes from, what effects it has, and how to live with scoliosis. If you feel like you're having back pain and think it may be scoliosis, just go to the doctor and get it checked out because it's better to catch it early on. When I was 14, I was diagnosed with scoliosis. I have a 38-degree curve and bursitis in my hip. I was given a brace for a few months because my curve is mild to high. I decided not to pursue in surgery. The pain is always there, but I just learned to deal with it in my own ways. My orthopedic surgeon told me that if I would have noticed scoliosis earlier, I may have been able to cure the curve from growing anymore. And this is my x-ray.